Greetings, family. Peace and love to you and yours. This is Guru, and thanks again for joining my channel. Alabama police officer is fired over a racist meme calling Michelle Obama, quote, fluent in ghetto, while on the other hand, praising Melania Trump. Let's go to the story. So, family, if you haven't heard already, an Alabama police officer has been fired for sharing racist memes, including one about Michelle Obama. Talladega police officer Joel Husk was terminated Wednesday for violating the department's social media and code of conduct policies, City Manager Patrick Bryant said. Husk had posted several memes on his Facebook page, including one showing First Lady Michelle Obama and Melania Trump, fluent in Slovenian, English, French, Serbian, and German, unquote, it said over Trump's photo. Over First Lady Michelle Obama's, it read, quote, fluent in ghetto. Bryant, the city manager, said statements that are, quote, deemed to be biased or racially insensitive or derogatory, unquote, can affect the community's trust in the police department, and when that happens, quote, we have to take action to correct it, unquote. Quote, as public employees and especially law enforcement officers, we have a standard of excellence to uphold, unquote, Bryant told the Washington Post. Joel Husk, pictured here, 37, who had been with the department for about 2.5 years, had also shared a meme showing President Obama with the words, quote, was Dallas a terrorist attack? Yes. Carried out by Obama's own homegrown terrorist group, unquote. Another meme he shared depicted Klansmen carrying a Confederate flag. Quote, the KKK is a hate group, right? Isn't it about time we start being honest in America and admit that hashtag Black Lives Matter is also a hate group, unquote, it read. Husk could not be reached for comment. Since Donald Trump was elected president, a wave of racially and religiously motivated acts of intimidation, violence, and harassment have swept across our country, from a middle school in Michigan and a high school in Pennsylvania to universities in Texas and elsewhere. And family, on Saturday, an Episcopal church in Maryland was vandalized with the message, quote, Trump Nation, whites only. And the next morning in Indiana, the organist at an Episcopal church discovered a swastika, an anti-gay slur, and Hail Trump spray painted on the outside walls. In an interview on CBS 60 Minutes, Trump said he was, quote, so saddened to hear, unquote, people were harassing others in his name. And I say, stop it, Trump said in the interview, which was broadcast Sunday. Quote, if it helps, I will say this, and I will say it right on, to the cameras. Stop it. Well, days later, a Maryland high school student wearing a, quote, Make America Great Again hat was injured and taken to a hospital after a fight with a group of anti-Trump protesters who punched and kicked him. The ugliness has also swept across social media and has even involved some community leaders. The mayor in a tiny town in West Virginia resigned this week, and the director of a government-funded nonprofit was removed from her position amid a nationwide uproar over a racist comment about the First Lady.
An official from Clay County, West Virginia, calling First Lady Michelle Obama an ape in heels following Donald Trump's election victory last week. The mayor's response causing just as much controversy when she replied, quote, just made my day, Pam. The posts have since been deleted, and the town's mayor, Beverly Whaling, has resigned. Town council members met Tuesday night to accept her resignation and reassure the community that the comments do not reflect the views of everyone in Clay.
We're very decent people, and as Jason said, we're God-loving people. And I don't know what the idea was behind all of this. Maybe none, but it's terrible.
Some people drove hundreds of miles to attend the meeting.
Coming here and showing my support and absolutely stating that I refuse to tolerate any type of hateful rhetoric was that important to me.
Pamela Taylor, the county worker who made the comment, has been removed from her position as the director of the County Development Corporation. Town leaders say they plan to appoint a new mayor as soon as possible.
And family, Michelle Obama, who graduated from Princeton University and Harvard Law School, has spoken in the past about being the target of racism. In 2014, she urged high school seniors in Topeka, Kansas, to help break down, quote, old prejudices. Michelle said, quote, as you go forth, when you encounter folks who still hold the old prejudices because they've only been around folks like themselves, when you meet folks who think they know all the answers because they've never heard any other viewpoints, it's up to you to help them see things differently, unquote, she said. And then the following year, family, she talked to graduates at Tuskegee University in Alabama about having been targeted. Quote, there was the first time I was on a magazine cover. It was a cartoon drawing of me with a huge afro and a machine gun, she said. Now, yeah, it was satire, but if I'm really being honest, it knocked me back a bit. It made me wonder, just how are people seeing me? Quote, or you might remember the onstage celebratory fist bump between me and my husband after a primary win that was referred to as, quote, terrorist fist jab. And over the years, folks have used plenty of interesting words to describe me. One said I exhibited a little bit of uppitysm. Another noted that I was one of my husband's cronies of color. Cable news once charmingly referred to me as Obama's baby mama. She warned the graduates at the historically black university that people may not always see them for who they are. Quote, instead they will make assumptions about who they think you are based on their limited notion of the world, she said. And my husband and I know how frustrating that experience can be. We've both felt the sting of those daily slights throughout our entire lives. The folks who crossed the street in fear of their safety, the clerks who kept a close eye on us in all those department stores, the people at formal events who assumed we were the help, and those who have questioned our intelligence, our honesty, even our love of this country. Although the First Lady acknowledged those moments can feel isolating, she said that those feelings are not an excuse to just throw up our hands and give up. Then, in April, she told graduates at Jackson State University, quote, when they go low, I go high, unquote, as outrage swelled over the former Alabama officer's Facebook post. The Talladega city manager said Friday that he was incredibly disappointed and frustrated. Bryant said he was alerted to Husk's social media activity late Tuesday and, quote, immediately initiated disciplinary procedures. But he said he could not go into detail about the case because it's an ongoing personnel issue. Employees, he said, have a right to appeal disciplinary actions. But Bryant confirmed that Husk has been fired from the police department. Quote, honesty and integrity are of the utmost importance, and those qualities in a public servant are the foundation upon which good government is laid, Bryant said. And pictured here is City Manager Patrick Bryant, and he says lastly, quote, we're only as effective as the trust the community has in us, unquote, he added. So, family, lastly, before I finish this off, I just want you to know that this picture that I've been using here is a picture of First Lady Michelle Obama, who meets with Melanin Trump in the Yellow Oval Office of the White House on November 10th. So anyways, family, I just want to end this off here saying that I'm glad to hear that that Alabama police officer was fired over his racist meme calling Michelle Obama, quote, fluent in ghetto. this is the first time we have a first lady in office who truly exudes grace, elegance, and dignity. And that's First Lady Michelle Obama. We now have the fortunate opportunity to see what white trash, Melania Trump, is going to bring to the White House, even though she comes from the porn industry. We'll see how far she takes the White House. Oh, but I digress. They're not moving into the White House. That's a whole nother video. Coming soon to YouTube by Guru. Thanks again for watching, family. Peace and love to you and yours. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'm out.